I have two amendments. I'll speak to the second one when we get to it, obviously. This one, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about it. We know it's going to be costly to change some of the things that are written in foreign languages here in the chamber and across the state. And so to make up for that cost, I'm trying to tie bar this bill to a proposal that we're working on for a graduated income tax, which will save 95% of taxpayers here in the state of Michigan money, but will generate over $800 million of new revenue. And so we can put that money to roads and schools and all the other things, but also specifically to this issue. And so that's why I am offering this amendment to cover the cost that we're going to incur for making this change. So I offer this amendment, and I hope that my colleagues will support me in this amendment.
Question is on the adoption of the amendment. The clerk will open the board. The amendment is not adopted.
So I rise today to offer a simple amendment to this legislation. My amendment would exempt the state seal from English-only requirements in this legislation. And I'm offering this amendment in the interest of being fiscally responsible. As you're aware, our state seal contains the Latin phrase, and I'm going to do my best with this, Sicaris Peninsulum Aminum Circumspice. And I probably pronounced that wrong, as the groans I'm hearing from my colleagues, because I don't speak Latin. But it means if you seek a pleasant peninsula, look about you. We all know that. It also says, again, I'm going to do my best, Twebor. I've heard multiple pronunciations, but we know it means I will defend. And if this bill passes without my amendment, the state seal will need to be redesigned to get rid of the Latin phrases it contains and replace those phrases with English. Now, our state seal, in my mind, speaks to who we are as a state, and it's actually written in a different language. And then what about the process of replacing everything with the old Latin-filled state seal with the new English state seal? And as we look around the chambers, I know some of the lights that are actually outside, the doorknobs. If people have walked around, they've seen all the different things that have Latin actually written on them. And so there's some behind me. Okay. So the cost and time it would take to replace these alone, not to mention every state flag flying across both peninsulas. So, Mr. Speaker, this amendment is critical to cost saving. And I know we want to be cognizant and we want to be fair to our taxpayers here in the state of Michigan and make sure we're good stewards of their money. And one final thought on top of the state seal is also the phrase e pluribus unum. And I'm pretty sure I got that one right. I've heard it a few times. That's because it's also the de facto motto of our great nation. It means, I'm sure you know, out of many, one. And this bill, as it's written, ignores the many and insists just on the one. So I encourage my colleagues to do the fiscally responsible thing and to adopt this amendment. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Question is on the adoption of the amendment. The clerk will open the board. The amendment is not adopted.